All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our November 6, 2025 meeting in the Ascension Parish Council. We'll call it to order. And I'm going to ask Mr. Joseph, please lead us in the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Bow our head. Dear Lord, bless this great nation, this great state, and this great parish. Bless all the councilmen to make the right decisions this afternoon, and bless all the armed forces service members. And the Lord bless and wish us, this nation, armed forces service, 250 years of service. Happy birthday on this Veteran Day coming up. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Agenda item number 2, roll call. Ms. Secretary, Mr. Turner and Mr. Robert are absent. All other members are present. And the chair's edition. So just a few things on chair's edition. Let me see. First and foremost, November 11th is Veterans Day, so we'd like to thank all of our veterans. On this Sunday at 2 o'clock in the city of Gonzales, that we'll have the Veterans Day Parade. Starts at East Ascension High School, goes westbound on Burnside, makes the loop right back to EA. So kids, grandkids, all that good stuff, y'all go out Sunday and support the parade. And we do have two of my favorite veterans up here. I want to, personally, Mr. Cullen and Mr. Joseph. And, come on, let's give them a little round of applause. But I'll tell you, so they 250 years, right? And they, both of them were in the second ever listing class. So, they've, the first. So yeah.
You always got to be first.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So thank y'all very much. All right, the public comment sign-in period. If anyone would like to speak on any of our agenda items, right here on the podium, we have the cards. Fill that out. Get that to us. Whenever I get to that agenda item, you have 3 minutes to speak at the podium. And item number 5, Mr. Parish President, Ms. Quintmont, your report, please.
Thank you, Chairman Melanson. Good evening, Council. We had a great weekend at Boots on the Bayou Music Festival. It was a very clean, safe event. Just a great time on the grounds of Lamar Dixon. We look forward to the next one. In observance of Veterans Day, our offices will be closed on Tuesday, November 11th. Offices will be closed on Tuesday, November 11th. I would like to congratulate Councilwoman Tia Starr for being named a member of the Baton Rouge Business Report 40 under 40 class of 225. That concludes my report, Chair.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. All right, moving on. General business. Item 6A, the 2026 renewal of the Ascension Parish Employee Medical, Dental, Vision, and Life Insurance. Motion approved by Mr. Vornado and a second by Mr. Hillensbeck. Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Babin? Nope. Any objections? Hearing none? So moved. All right, so items 6B and 6C, we will have to do them individually. We are asking to defer until the November 20th meeting. We have a little bit more work to do there, so the chair would ask for that motion. All right, I have a motion from Mr. Vornado and a second by Mr. Cullen to defer 6B to our November 20th meeting. Any objection? Hearing none. So moved. And 6C, I have a motion to defer to November 20th from Mr. Arsenault and seconded by Ms. P.T. Any objection? Hearing none. So moved. All right. 7A, Planning and Zoning Recommendations. Zoning Review IDPZ 3714.25, Track A2 for Porcinian, is that correct? Porcinian Villas in Laffey Center, Spud, major use change, located on the south side of LA Highway 42, approximately 500 feet west of Highway 929, to request a major use change to an approved small plan unit development, to accept or deny the recommendations of the Joint Planning and Zoning. Their recommendation was to deny, and so the chair.
Motion to deny recommendation.
All right, so we have a motion to deny the recommendation, which would ultimately approve the spud. All right, so I have that by Mr. PT and a second by Mr. Vornado. Any questions? We do have representatives here of the spud. Would y'all like to add anything? No? All right, are there any objections to overturning planning and zoning's recommendation? All right, hearing none, so moved. All right, here we have introduction of ordinances. 8.8, introduction of an ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from conservation to light industrial zoning review IDPZ 3720.25 lot B3A for Waste Pro of Louisiana Incorporated, located on the north side of North Robert Wilson Road, approximately 1,500 feet east of Rayco Sandris Road. We have a motion introduced by Mr. Vornado. All right, our public hearing ordinances. 9A, reading of an ordinance to declare surplus and authorization of the sale and/or transfer of miscellaneous movable equipment. Mr. Dupatti.
To declare a surplus and authorize the sale and/or transfer of miscellaneous movable equipment, whereas the parish of Ascension has certain assets that are surplus and no longer viable and to retain, and whereas these assets no longer serve or have any public purpose, and whereas the parish of Ascension desires to declare said assets as surplus and provide the sale and/or transfer of same, whereas be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Council acting in its capacity as the governing authority that it hereby declares a listing of assets attached hereto and made a part hereof as Exhibit A as surplus and authorizes the sale and/or transfer of same severability in the event that any portion of the ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it. Such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not be affect the validity of the remaining portion of the ordinance. Effective date, this ordinance shall be in full effect as permitted by law. The ordinance has been submitted to a vote. The vote thereon is as follows.
Motion to open public hearing by Mr. Robert, second by Mr. PT. Motion to close public hearing by Mr. Vornado, a second by Mr. Hillingsbeck. We have a motion to move the ordinance by Mr. PT and a second by Mr. Hillingsbeck. Are there any questions, any objections?
No question, I just wanted to let Secretary know that Chair wanted to let her know that.
Mr. Robert's here. All right, no objections. Hearing none, so moved. All right, 9D, reading of an ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code, Appendix 5, drainage, specifically amending Section 17-503, amend Section 17-507, placement of fields, Section 17-5093, long-term accountability of mitigation facilities, and Section 17-50100. Mr. Dupatti.
Purpose to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code, Appendix 5, drainage, specifically amend Section 17-503, applicability, amend Section 17-507, placement of field, amend Section 17-5093, long-term accountability of mitigation facilities, and amend Section 17-50100, definitions. Whereas Ascension Parish local governmental subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution, 1974, and whereas the parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body over the planning and zoning regulations within this jurisdiction, and whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish, adopted May 4, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the lands of this parish, and now therefore be ordained by the Ascension Parish governing authority that the Unified Land Development Code of Ascension Parish, Louisiana, Appendix 5, drainage, is amended as follows, as more fully described in Exhibit A attached here to and made a part hereof. Repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby henceforth repealed. Severability, in the event any portion of this ordinance is held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portion of this ordinance. Effective date, this ordinance shall be in full effect as permitted by law. This ordinance has been submitted to a vote. The vote thereon is as follows.
Motion to open public hearing by Mr. Robert, a second by Mr. Hillingsbeck, and we do have one public speaker. Oh, I'm sorry. I seen you check. All right, so that is Mr. Steve Joffion, and he's present and he does support, but he does not wish to speak. All right, so where we leave on?
I guess I'll wait till we get to
Motion to close public hearing. Let's close public hearing first. Motion to close public hearing by Mr. Hillingsbeck, second by Mr. Vornado. Public hearing is closed, and we will move to the ordinance, and I believe Mr. Robert.
Yeah, I just had a question,
Okay.
just to, clarify exactly what it does as far as, what we can and can't do. Meaning,
you want me to kind of go through everything?
You don't have to go through everything, just a major point.
Basically, when the council originally passed the changes to this ordinance in 2021, it was stated that they would go back through it in a few years and look at, after we had a chance to go through it with folks for a while. There are some unintended consequences, and that we feel are pretty onerous on individual property owners, as well as some commercial properties. And what we're trying to do is to not change the ordinance to where it would be detrimental to adjacent property owners, but that it'll make it a little bit easier for some folks to do some things. And I will tell you that none of the things in here are going to impact the flood insurance program or anything like that. We've checked on all of those.
And the reason I'm asking you this, Eric, is in my district, is a lot to do with mitigation for
Mhm.
elevation.
Yes.
So maybe a couple of the points you could tell.
Well, one of the things was
both
the
commercial and the residential, so what we can do now, and if there's anything that we can't do that we could.
Well, I mean, on the height limitation is probably the biggest thing on individual and commercial properties, because if someone has a lot over half of an acre and they're back in Santa Ma or something somewhere, or in a flood zone, even if they have plenty of property to elevate to do a slab home, the ordinance restricted them to a certain elevation and height. And so we wanted to remove that to allow them to do that as long as they can provide the proper field mitigation and all that for it.
And that's limited to the half-acre lot?
It's anything that is above 1/2 of an acre. Those that are below 1/2 of an acre are still going to be bound by the original, by what it reads today.
Okay, so the one above is the one.
That's right, the one
okay.
above, yes.
Great. Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll just add, I think the biggest change is that we're going from watersheds to the or drainage basins, right? You're giving them
Yes.
so much more options instead of.
Well, we
I
have
don't-
topographical
Right.
watersheds, and that's how the ordinance was originally written. Discussions with staff and administration. Since the parish operates in drainage basins based on the pump stations, we wanted to expand those areas, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow those, whether public or private entity, that want to provide field mitigation credits for people, that will allow them to be used over a larger area, which will make it much easier for those that either have too small of a lot or they don't have a desire to put a pond on their property. We have currently 4 in 2 different drainage basins as far as mitigation pits with credits, that the parish keeps track of those after they have had them certified and done the engineering on them. We keep track of them. They place a private servitude around those pits stating that they can't do anything that would alter or change or destroy any of those credits. And each time someone comes in and they apply for a field permit and go through that process and want to do that, we keep track of that and keep everybody together.
So this is some of those fruits from the 3D modeling of all of the different basins that we've been doing. It's been all the 3D modeling, engineering.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
So both in Mr. Robert's and Chase's, maybe some in lines, certainly on the south side of the parish, we found that when this was first passed in 19? 21. That seemed like that was before I took office. Anyway, I want to check on that. There was unintended consequences of small lots in subdivisions that were essentially unable to meet the requirements and simply taken out of commerce completely. So we still have some tweaks to make. This is not perfect. Me and Chairman Lawson have been working on this since probably a couple of years of my first term when this first started, to find out a better way of mitigation. So we're going to see how this takes effect. We're going to see the cause and effects of this today, and we may have future tweaking. I don't, because this is a very impactful ordinance, extremely, especially on smaller lots, and sometimes for the people who can't afford it. And so just be prepared. We're going to see how this handles and try to find the sweet spot of protection and also keeping properties in commerce as well. So I don't know if we're there. We're certainly taking a shot at getting there with this change. But we may have some future tweaking, so I just want to be aware of that.
Is this going to allow the ability for someone to get a variance or apply for a variance in any of the smaller half-acre lots?
Well, I think that's the goal here, is to not have them to do that.
Yeah,
The goal is
right.
to set the ordinance to where they don't have to come for the variance, that they're able to develop that property. And like I said, if we're going to see how that works
and
out.
I'm not even speaking for just
Joe.
every case by any means, but
There are parameters in this ordinance that, you know, the field to where you can't be within 10 foot and stuff, there's parameters that they put in that allows that to be, basically gives you a variance, but you have to, it has to be within your drainage plan as well. Now, I don't think we should limit it at 36 still. I think the administration was in agreements that you should be able to go up as long as you can not really have a cap on some of this stuff except for half acre or smaller. I think that's what we're
as
talking
long as
about
it's
to
mitigated,
expand on.
yeah.
To, if somebody can mitigate to go up 4 foot, they should be allowed to do so if they, you know, their engineering plan allows them to mitigate. So I think that's where,
I think that's
I think the
where-
planning department wanted to keep the cap when they reviewed it, and I think y'all were in support of getting rid of the cap, correct?
No, you're talking
On
about the
certain-
5-year certification requirement.
But,
too.
but what I was getting at was with the half-acre lots, a lot of the people, and especially almost more so in Chase's area, you have, and friends of mine, I went to Santa Maria, graduated from Santa Maria. They want to get, or they have a half-acre, or, you know, something like that, and want to put a house. If the engineering's done correctly, if it's mitigated correctly, if the circumstances permit with the outfalls and whatnot nearby, I just wanted to make sure they had an ability, maybe in the future, or if now, to proceed through some type of, because I know before you really couldn't do much with the variance on this particular ordinance.
No, and the 3 foot is the adjustment Chase made, and certainly across the whole parish with adding the chain wall, allowing you to go to 5 feet, right? Let's not forget that change, which was very positive. You know, again, I don't think we're there yet. And maybe when we start doing our detention ponds and we add those mitigation credits in there, may make it even easier once those are in place for people. And because the cost of mitigation, even when they do them, is, from the numbers I'm hearing, is tremendous. I mean, they can't do it. Nobody will buy the lot because it costs so much to bring in, fill, and mitigate it. So we're going to keep making adjustments. What I would like to do is to get Eric to do a quick sheet for each and every one of you, so you know that in these ordinances what those major changes were and what they are now, so that you can get that out to your constituents in each of your districts, so you can see that, and then ask questions based off of that sheet. So if you need further detailed explanations on that, so we're gonna have him work that up and get that to each and every one of you.
All right.
So essentially that sheet will give them permission.
And the parish president was right, it was changed in September of 2019 and not 2021.
Okay,
Yeah, speaking of against that one a few times.
let me see. So we still need a motion in a second. All right, we have a motion to approve by Mr. PT, a second by Mr. Cullen, or do you have a question? Okay. That's 17-503A. Okay, so Mr. Cullen has an amendment to eliminate 17-5093A. So, and I have a second from Mr. Hillensbeck, so we are strictly voting on just the amendment first. We have a motion and a second. Is there any objection to the amendment? All right, so moved, and now the chair would like a motion and a second on the ordinance as amended. Mr. Hillensbeck has a motion.
Second.
A second by Mr. Vornadoe. Any objection?
No objection.
Hearing none. So moved. All right, 9G, reading of an ordinance. Ascension Parish Unified Land Developmental Code, LDC, Appendix 2, Developmental Code, specifically to amend 17-2081, off-street parking requirements, adding paragraph G, paragraph area surfacing standards, and add definition for permeable parking to section 17-20100. Definitions. Mr. Dupaty.
Purpose, to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development Code, Appendix 2 of Development Code, specifically to amend Section 17-2081, off-street parking requirements, adding paragraph G, parking area surface standards, and to add a definition for permeable paving to Section 17-20100 definitions. Whereas Ascension Parish is a local governmental subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution in 1974, whereas the Parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body over the planning and zoning regulations within its jurisdiction, and whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish, adopted May 4, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the lands of this parish, and now therefore be it ordained by the Ascension Parish governing authority that the Unified Land Development Code of Ascension Parish, Louisiana, Appendix 2 Development Code is amended as follows, as more fully described in Exhibit A, attached here to, made a part hereof. Repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith and are hereby henceforth repealed. Severability in any event that any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by court comes to jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portion of the ordinance. The effective date this ordinance shall be in full effect as permitted by law. The ordinance having been submitted to a vote. To vote thereon as follows.
Motion to open public hearing by Mr. Robert, a second by Mr. Vornado.
Motion closed.
Motion to close by Mr. Joseph, a second by Ms. Alonso. Motion to move the ordinance by Mr. Hillensbeck and a second by Mr. Robert. Are there any questions or any objections? Hearing none, so moved. Motion adjourned by Mr. Cullen and a second by Mr. Hillensbeck. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.